So I want to say welcome to everyone. This is Build a Better Business. And today we're talking all about how we build our business. And again, it's just like building a house. There's all the building blocks. You start with the cornerstone of your story and build your business out from there. And so I'm just going to overview to build a better business. I know those of you that have been with me for a while, it's boring. I know you've heard it all before. So hang in there with me for the new folks. But then once we get through that, today, I'm simply going to show how we can create a website for free if you want to, because a lot of folks are wanting to do a website, and you can do it all different ways. But as we go around, my guess is we might have some folks that are way ahead and do a lot of websites. Maybe that's even their business is doing websites. But if you're interested in having a website, your website can be for all kinds of reasons. It can be just the cornerstone of your business. If you're doing an online business, you want to have a website because that becomes what we always called in the past your brick and mortar store. If you have a pizza shop, people can drive by and see you. But even now, if you have a brick and mortar, you want to have a website as well. How many times do we want to go to a restaurant, but we want to go to their website and look at their menu first, or look at their hours, or find their location? So if you do not have a website, you do not exist in today's world, okay? If you do not have a website, you do not exist. Because think about all the times that you search for somebody. The first thing you do is you look for their website so you can find out their hours, their services, whatever. And even if it's a brick and mortar store. So it is especially important if you don't have a brick and mortar store. If you're doing property management, if you're doing rentals, if you're doing a blog, if you're doing candles from your garage, if you're doing any kind of recordings where you're training, you have to have a place for folks to land. And so even if you do some YouTube videos and, you see all the TikTok stuff, if it's a business that you want to grow, you still have to have a place to send your clients. You have to have a place to send your customers. You have to have a place for them to land that shows that you are a legitimate business. And ultimately, at the end of the day, there should be a place on that website that somebody can give you money. I don't know how many websites I've seen that people can go there and and it looks very beautiful and you've spent thousands of dollars and it's great, but there's no place for anybody to actually give you money. And so we're not probably going to get that far today as to how to do those links, but we are going to show just a sample of how easy it is to build a website. And it can be something as simple as a blogging site. And maybe later you're going to monetize the blogging site by having affiliate links or selling products from your site. But you can start with just a blog if you want to. And so that was kind of my example that I'm going to show you today. So anyway, I want to go around, and first of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Kathy Benner. I'm a passive income mentor. I have an academy called the Kathy Benner International Academy. And in the academy, the Build a Better Business, and I'm going to show you that before we get started, so you see where to find all the information. It has all the steps on how to build a better business. And it is my version of how to build a better business. You probably have taken courses from other folks and you've seen all kinds of ways to build out your website, all kinds of ways to do your marketing. But I want my business to be heart-centered. I want it to be all about you, the other person. I want it to be all about the customer. I want it to be all about the consumer. And I simply then become the guide. And I don't know how many websites I visited, and I don't know if I have any realtors on the call, but sometimes realtors are the worst because, there they are with their arms crossed. You've all seen the pictures, and they're like, here is all of my qualifications, and I've won this award and I've won that award. Now, their hope in all of that is they're actually hoping that you recognize how good they are and you say to yourself, oh, I want to hire them. Look how good they are. But what happens oftentimes in that situation is that you look at them and go, well, good for them. I'm glad they're, a multi-million-dollar producer, because they didn't really tell you in their website what's in it for you. So you have to word it that way. And so that's what we are going to show today is how you can just change, maybe just tweak a little bit of wording on your website. So anyway, that's what I do out of my Academy, I have 5 different lanes. And in those lanes, I also have a writer's lane. I also have a health and wellness lane. I also have a networking lane, and I also have a real estate lane. And so I have 5 different lanes, but today we are talking about the Build a Better Business. So I'm going to go in the order that I see you on my screen. So forgive me if you've signed on a little different in a different order, but I'm going to go in the order that I see you here. Everybody's screen's a little different. And so I'm going to start with Debbie. Debbie, tell us who you are, where you're coming to us from, and what it is that you are either doing or hoping to do for your business.
Thanks, Kathy. It's great to be back here. I am an author and a speaker, and I presently, well, for the past 14 years, I have been a health and wellness coach. I am with a company that's now been is 40 years old, and it's where I do most of my shopping. I also have a blog that I do because I'm a homesteader. I farm and I can. So I blog the things about my garden, about my farm, and that it's really not as hard as you think it is. And you make do with what God gives you. And in the end, it turns out to be just perfect. And so I've been inundated with finishing up my tomatoes. It's right now, it's the last thing I'm going to be working with. And other than that, I'm a grandmother of 9. My first granddaughter just got married last month, and I just love life. I am very happy to be here today and present. And life can throw you a lot of things, a whole lot of things, and it's your choice whether you want to deal with it, move on, or wallow in it. And so in my expert opinion, and personal opinion, I should say, deal with it. Just go on, move, And even if you are struggling in part of your business, Kathy's here and she will really, really help you if this is your first time diving into build a better business. So you're in a great place. And
Debbie, thank you so much for that. And
I turn it back to you.
Yeah, I don't want to talk out of turn, but Debbie has had some health issues, and she is definitely a survivor and has come through it in flying colors. And Debbie, we're so glad to see you here today. Thank you so much for that, and thanks for the kudos. And I appreciate you. For those that don't know, Debbie and I go way back. We've been friends for a lot of years. So Debbie, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. We're going to jump over.
Let me know when you come back, because I actually am house sitting this week, and I was going to come over and visit you on Thursday.
Very good. We're flying home tomorrow, so yes.
Oh, great. All right, let me know.
Yes.
Thank you.
So normally I'm in the Columbus, Ohio area, and Debbie's not too far away from me, but I have a condo in Sarasota, Florida. So I'm currently in Sarasota, flying home tomorrow morning. So I'm going to jump over to Cheri. Cheri, tell us a little bit about you, where you're coming to us from, and what you bring to the table.
Hey, everybody. It is great to be here. Yeah, I'm Cheri Dotterer. So my question to you is, have you ever just felt stuck? Like you didn't know what to write, or you're just feeling like you don't know how to put the words down on paper, even if you're trying to like put together that website? Well, I help you understand what writing struggles are all about. There is a medical diagnosis called dysgraphia. So that is one lane that mine, excuse me, we have flies coming in my face. I'm sorry. And the other thing that I do is I have a faith-based program called Esther Chicks, where I am helping faith-based women start their own business, similar to Kathy here at Build a Better Business. But what I focus on is I start with the Book of Esther, and I teach you a little bit about what it was like to be a woman in Persia and compare that to what it's like to be a woman today. And so between those two lanes, I'm just a little bit on the busy side. Right now, I am finishing up one of my dysgraphia projects, and I've written another course for the program, and we'll see how that goes, that flies out. So that's what I've been up to, and you can find me at my name, CheriDotterer.com. And my course platform is Disability Labs, and I'll put that stuff in the chat. Thank you,
Thank you, Cheri.
Kathy, for having me here today.
Yes, yes, I love it. Thank you. And Cheri, you're coming to us from
Oh, did I have to say that? Near Allentown, like the song?
Allentown, Pennsylvania. So welcome. So thank you, Cheri. Masood, how about you?
Yeah, of course, I can go next. I'm Masood, and I'm calling in from Denver, and I have an idea on this is not a business like that is like have the foundation, but it's just on ideation phase. But the main idea is how to integrate the saffron, the spice that you might know that is has all of the good effects on the anxiety, on the stress, and all of the other things, how to integrate it into everyday rituals of people. So what we came up with is a dissolvable pill that you can drop it in your drink, whatever that you're drinking, whether it's tea, it's your coffee or milk at the night, and it would bring the aroma, the color, and all of the benefits of saffron to it. So it's at the very like crude elements or steps of the first MVPs of me creating them with my wife in our house and trying to see whether people like it or not.
Very good. Wow, I love that. I love that. Talk about entrepreneurial. Yes,
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Again, I have a health and wellness lane, and so I've been doing a deep dive here recently, on supplements. And so thank you for being here. So yes,
Of
I'll
course,
check it out. I
of
love it.
course.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
I put in the chat the Instagram page.
yes,
If any of you is interested, can visit.
very good. Thank you so much. I see that. Yes, yes. Mina, how about you?
Hi there. So, I have my brother with me. We're calling from Canada in the
Okay.
province of Saskatchewan. So, for me, I am getting into drop shipping again. So,
Okay.
I would be selling or advertising, I guess, on my website for a client in Arizona who has a specific type of jewelry that kind of keeps your aura intact, if I should say, or your energy. But for me, I started drop shipping years ago before online stores was a thing. And that was really great for me to start. I learned a lot with that. But I was at a period where a lot of people weren't doing it. So I had to figure out that for myself. And there was a lot of people who didn't see the vision of that at the beginning. So there was a lot of work and expenses into SEO, Facebook, YouTube.
Mhm.
And so when I had Walmart come to me, I was unable to take on their products. So there was a bit of a loss there, but it was definitely a great experience. And so I guess I'm ready to jump back in. But with
Okay.
all the tools we have now, it might be a lot easier. So
Yes, yes. And so you'll want to do some research. Do you have a website already?
no, I would like to start that, but trying to get it without all the heavy expenses as I had done before.
Just do some homework. We've got Linda on today. We've got Cheri on. Linda and Cheri and myself, we've experimented with a lot of different websites. I will jump in and say this before we move on. I'm going to show you a very basic one today that may not necessarily be the correct one for you, Mina, because you want to reverse engineer what you're doing. You want to list everything that you need a website to do. And then when you search for the right platform, make sure that the website you go with can do all of that. Because if not, you're going to end up building one out, and then you're going to end up having to switch to another platform and rebuild all of that when you find the first one won't do what you need it to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't want that. Yeah, the building of it is very important. I actually just wanted to interject as well. And the last person who spoke, Masood Ahmadi, is that how I pronounce it? Mahmoud? Or
Yes, Masood.
Masood.
Yep.
I just want to say, I think that business is so great. I've tried a lot of different saffron products, and I was thinking, like, I think the most you'll have to convince people is the real one from the fake, because you've seen
Yes.
artificial ones. And I think now I've heard a lot of people like hesitant to purchase them because of that. So it's
True,
like a lot
true.
of convincing of how real it is.
That is our struggle as well, that people like see that supplements or the pills are like very cheap, and they think it's like pure saffron, but it's not.
Yeah.
So we are trying to like spread out that word as well. Yes.
You'll have to do a lot of the chemistry of showing them the difference.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yep.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
you.
that. And Mina, where are you coming to us from?
Canada. So it's
Canada.
in the province of Saskatchewan.
Okay, very good.
My brother is also working on his business, and
Okay.
so this will be a
Hi
good
guys,
one.
I'm Marcus, Mina's brother. In logistics field in Alberta, Calgary for like 8 years, contracted to Home Depot throughout COVID. And now I'm fortunate to run my own business 2 years in the running with my partner that's a firefighter, is a good friend of mine. And the era I'm in, I'm just getting invoices, everything in, paying workers. I don't have a website, but I'm an amazing marketer. So I'd like to get that out there in a way through my media and other platforms, but I'm just new to that. Other than
Okay.
that, I've been networking from scratch and it worked its way. So
Very good. Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Next, we have Quincy. Quincy, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a minute. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Kathy.
So tell us about you.
Well, yes, I am an investor, business owner as well, an author. Kathy always makes me say an author as well now. But I've listened to Kathy and taken her advice, and it's only honestly led me to success. Starting my own meetings, recording them and whatnot. So I love to jump on here and support Kathy and what you're doing, because it's interesting how much we go through as business owners or young business owners, and able to basically steal some tricks of the trade from one business owner to the next. And it's interesting how universal business really is. There's a science to it, but I feel like, if you can artify everything that you're doing, like Mina and Marcus doing the drop shipping and having their own businesses. Congrats, by the way, going from the Home Depot in 2 years and running your own business with the firefighter, Marcus. That's what's up. And Masood as well, man. I love like people that create their own products. That's really cool. What I do specifically in investing, you see my background behind me. That's my family's property. So we have properties like that where it's beautiful beach homes and stuff. I actually just exited my property in Rosarito, Mexico, Kathy, I was telling you about, and was able to be successful in that exit as well. So as a money broker, it helps. So anybody that's getting equipment here or getting a home, getting a commercial, anything with funding or financing in general, I really help. I work with now over 150 realtors. Shout out Kathy when I didn't have one realtor. So it's nice to see other people's growth, like when they come on here to Kathy's. I call it Kathy's consulting classes because like it really helps me emotionally, especially on Mondays when you don't feel like getting up or doing your business, or maybe you don't have the right motivation or whatever it may be, then you come on here and you see other motivated business owners speaking their struggles or their triumphs. And it's really encouraging. That's why I come on to Kathy's events, because they're real, they're raw, they're very genuine. And I always get something where I can learn from or partner with somebody or collab. So shout out to everybody on here, coming out here on Monday, and Canada as well. That's really, really cool. And of course, Kathy, I love you. I think you're awesome. And every time I get something from Kathy, and it's, if not anything else, an emotional health check. Am I doing well as a business owner in my personal life? Am I balanced? Because we can all run ourselves mad, run ourselves into the ground. But Kathy has taught me to be balanced in life and to give myself self-care and all these things. So it's really helped, and helped all of my investors, helped all of my clients, because you overflow personal to professional. So
Yes.
thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you.
Quincy,
And
thank you
you
for
guys.
being here. Yep. Love you, buddy. Okay. Gay, how about you?
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to tap on what Quincy just said. Quincy, I don't think your contact information is in the chat. I would love to come see Rosita, Mexico. So, yeah, I'm looking at, travel stuff. I am from Columbus, Ohio, and I, by trade, originally have housed homeless seniors for probably the last 20 years. I'm also a therapist, and so those two kind of go together where the population needs housing all the time. So in good, did that for 20 years. Now I want to change clientele and look more at corporate housing, or housing vendors for festivals that are close by. We have a pretty active fairgrounds, and we always are having all kinds of festivals and concerts and seminars. So want to change, don't have a website. I've been doing this a long time, but it still is really a different mindset. And that's one thing Kathy kind of just schooled me quickly in between pizza slices the last time we were here. We were together. It was like, oh, I really need to learn some things. But so I'm going forward in an area that is new and don't necessarily have the partnership to say, okay, let's go process what Kathy said or what so and so said. It's just me with me with me and our coffee group. So,
well, hang in there, because it'll come, and it's a learning curve, but you're open to it. So I can see you really moving forward quickly, because you understand the business. Like Quincy said, a lot of times, the business is the business in all kinds of businesses. It does, have a tendency to flow from one type of a business to another. A lot of the concepts and protocols are the same. And so you know that piece of it already, Gay. So it'll come quickly for you. So thank you so much for being here. Estella, how about you?
Well, I just want to tack on to what others have said about how wonderful you are. You know how much I think of you. I've been with Kathy for, oh my goodness, at least 9 years, probably. I don't know when you left it was before you left the what I want to say, the nail business.
This salon, I had, for those that don't know, I had 5 beauty salons I retired from.
Mm-hmm. So, my name is Estella Blake, and I live in Columbus, Ohio. I have a couple of services that I've been offering to people, giving them access to legal and identity theft services, where we make legal access extremely affordable. We have almost 5 million people that we serve across the US and Canada, and we also service over 140 businesses that we help have access to legal services as well. And then we also offer identity theft services, which Forbes has named us first in legal plans as well as in identity theft. And
wow.
What makes us different is the fact that if someone were to get your identity, you don't have to figure it out. You sign a limited power of attorney authorizing a licensed private investigator to restore you. And we have a record of 80% of our people that have had identity theft are restored within 3 hours. So they have databases to over 300,000 databases worldwide. Prior to that, I was HR in corporate as well as having my own HR consulting firm. But I found that I was able to serve more people because I can go in and offer the legal and identity theft benefits to employees at a very affordable cost. So, and I just love Kathy because as Quincy said, the motivation, just her heart, it's just she has one of the purest hearts I know. I know three ladies, and I just look at them and I'm in awe of their servanthood, and so I'm so grateful to her. So thank you. And
Thank
I'll
you,
put my
Estella.
information in the chat as well if you want some additional information about how we help small businesses and individuals have access to legal services for really a tiny fractions, for less than a cup of coffee a day. I'll do that.
Yes, and make sure you click to everyone so everyone sees it, even if they're not here as a panelist. Thank you for all the kudos, Estella. God has been good, and this is my retirement gig, for those of you that don't know. I will be 70 on my next birthday, and so this is my way of giving back. And so I made the decision that I give back by my mentoring and teaching, and at the end of the day, I'm creating more and more scholarships for folks to get into different areas where they might not financially be able to. So that's what I do. And I'm going to show you my website here as we get started. Very quickly, we're going to move on to Michael and then to Linda, and then I'm going to give my little presentation today. So Michael, tell us about you.
Okay, so I ran an Airbnb business for about 8 years. I was really successful with it. Quit my job, was off work for like 2 or 3 years. It was really awesome. And then I went back to work about 3 months ago. Didn't like it at all. Then I had some chronic fatigue to where I had to go to the hospital for a couple of months. And now they are wanting me to come back to work, and my Airbnb business has been shut down. Airbnb basically banned me from their website. So I am trying to figure out what to do with my life because I do not want to work for money. It just doesn't make sense to me. I
I
want
get it.
I want passive income. I want to work, but I want to work for myself. And my idea was to become a life coach because I love reading and I read self-help books. I read a ton of like The Law of Success. I'm reading that right now, and Think and Grow Rich and all that. Those awesome books and business and finances and all that. I love to read. I do it like all day long. So I don't know how I can utilize that to create a business.
Well, Michael, where are you coming to us from?
Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Columbus is going to be big news when it comes to short-term rentals. So when you say you had an Airbnb business, okay, so for the rest of you that are listening, I'm gonna coach Michael real quick, very quickly here. Number one, you have to have income to live the lifestyle that you want to live. You got to have the cash flow. You did well in the Airbnb. Airbnb is just an online platform. You don't have to be stuck with Airbnb. You can have your short-term rental. Do you still own your properties?
Yeah, I do, and I'm doing long-term rent tenants right now.
Okay, so you still have some income coming in, but if you wanted to transition back into short term, you simply can put those on a different platform. You don't have to just live with Airbnb. You can use booking.com, you can use Expedia. I also do short term rental. I would say 80% of my clients come through Expedia. And again, it's a little bit of a different platform, but once you learn the platform, the income is there or even better than Airbnb. So you don't have to be tied to just Airbnb is my point. As far as
Yeah, I
becoming,
understand that, but also the city of Columbus has actually shut me down first. So I
Mm.
can't do short-term rentals according to the city of Columbus because my neighbors hate me and they call the police on everything about stupid things.
Well,
Okay.
you and I should talk because again, as long as you're doing everything by the book, and I'd have to know more about, you know, the reasons why or what happened as to why the city got involved. But let's work through that because that seems to be a good niche for you. You liked it, the income was there, and Columbus, Ohio is booming. There are people getting into the business every day in short-term in Columbus, Ohio. And my Columbus people that are on here, especially those like Gay that are into real estate, 100,000 people are moving into the city in the next couple of years. 100,000, and they're all going to be looking for housing. So again, I love real estate. Quincy, I know you know I love the real estate piece because it is a great passive income. So Michael, let's you and I connect. Again, you see my name here in my little Hollywood square, Kathy Benner. Just go to kathybinner.com and connect with me, and let's have a chat about that. And also about you being a life coach. There's all kinds of programs out there where you can get certified.
Yeah, I saw that. I just don't have the money to do it right now.
Well, there's some that are very inexpensive, and I can turn you on to some of those.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Put your info in the chat as well.
But make sure you put it to everyone so we can see it. If it just goes out to the panelists, we all can't see it. So click the everyone button first. And we're going to move on over to Linda. Linda, tell us about you, and please share your platform link, because for those that are looking for a website platform, Linda has a good one. So Linda, tell us what you do, where you're coming to us from, and give us just a brief overview of what your platform does for those like maybe Mina that's looking for a platform.
Okay, sure. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll be happy to throw some links into the chat here. So I guess I'll start with the platform first. That is something that I earn passive income through, and I'm really happy to do so. And I run my entire business on the platform. It is a funnel building platform where you can create as many pages as you want, opt-in pages, landing pages, build a website on it. And let me mention right up front the price, because you won't believe all the things that are included. It's only $25 a month. So unlimited funnel pages. There's a CRM built into it. You would still want an autoresponder if you wanted to reach out to your people, but it's incredible. You can build a membership site on it. Your online calendar is built into it at no extra charge. We have an unbelievable amount of support. There's full video trainings that you can access day or night. There is an AI chatbot that you can access anytime, day or night, and often get an answer. We have a robust social community where members are very active and will answer questions. And we have daily live Zoom calls with masterminds and training and Q&A. So it's just unbelievable.
Tons of support. Yeah, tons of support.
Tons of support. And one of the great things is, if for me as a person in that business, I don't have to be available 24/7 to answer questions, because the way everything is built for just it's like it takes a village. Everyone is helping everyone. So you can also do quiz funnels on here, which other companies will charge an arm and a leg for. It's just incredible how much is all built into this. Was there anything, Kathy, that you wanted me to mention about that in particular?
No, you've covered a lot of it. So thank you for that. And Linda has an affiliate link. And again, we're all talking about passive income. And so one of the ways you can have passive income is to connect with some affiliates. And that way, anytime somebody clicks through on your link, you get paid. So Linda has an affiliate link for this product. And so I'm going to ask her to put it in the chat to everyone once she's finished. But Linda, go ahead and then tell us where you're coming to us from and what is it that you do in your business.
Sure. So I am located just southwest of Pittsburgh in a town called Washington, PA. So I'm about a half an hour from the Ohio border, close enough to get together with some of the folks from Ohio if we're all willing to drive a little bit. And what I am doing primarily in my business right now is I am running my own meetup group that meets the first and third Tuesday of the month. So I'm getting ready for mine tomorrow, and it meets at 1 o'clock. I'll throw that into the chat as well. It's called the Automated Entrepreneur, and I help people who are in business or who would like to get into business, particularly in an online setting, learn how to do these aspects of building a capture page where you can collect email addresses and build that most valuable asset, your mailing list, and how to create an informational page that tells people about you, how to do affiliate marketing with these pages, and then how to set up your autoresponders and build lead magnets, all the things that are involved in being an automated entrepreneur. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to automate yourself, which is the beginning of growing and succeeding in life and as a business person. So I'll be happy to throw those links into the chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that. So while Linda is doing that, I am going to share my screen. And let's see if I can find the link here. Sometimes my share screen doesn't show up. Well, there it is. Okay. Can everyone see my screen now? Estella, I can see you. Give me a thumbs up. Do you see my screen? Yes. Okay. All right. This is my actual website, and I want to overview this first before I actually show you about building a website. Here's what I want to say. For those of you that are on this call today, think about your website as it tells a story. You want it to go through all the steps. You want to make sure that when somebody visits your website, that it's very clear what it is that you do. And so you can go right across the top of my menu in that order, but I want to show you, I just want to go down my homepage so that you see what I'm talking about. So the first thing we talk about in Build a Better Business is what is your freebie? How can somebody connect with you? And right away, I have a 30-minute coffee chat, and you can click here and it takes you right over to my calendar to schedule that coffee chat. It shows what the freestyle living strategies are. You can have this complimentary strategy call, which is what this 30-minute coffee chat is. Or you can do a free meetup, which is what we're all doing today. Then I have the courses, then the masterminds, then the one-on-one coaching. Finally, we celebrate with freestyle living tribe trips. And any of these, you see the little arrows go both directions. If you just do the course, you're still a part of the tribe. If you do the one-on-one coaching, you're a part of the tribe. If you do just the strategy call, you're a part of the tribe. If you do just the tribe trip, you're part of the tribe. So you can see how it all comes together in the freestyle living tribe. Then I'm going to review this rather quickly because those that have been with me have heard this 100 times. The very next thing on my website is my VPS, my value proposition statement. It tells the world what I'm bringing to the table. And so for those of you that don't have a value proposition statement yet, if you're using Chat GPT, you can put in all the things that you're doing. You can even, if you have a website, you can copy and paste your About Me page over into Chat, and you can say, write a VPS for me, write a value proposition statement for me. It's your 30-second commercial. It's your elevator speech. It's if you're at a conference and you're getting on the elevator and somebody goes, "Oh, so nice to meet you. What do you do?" You don't want to give them this big whole orientation on what you do. You need to have a sentence or two. This is my sentence or two. I'm teaching you how to be healthy and how to create passive income. I'm coaching you how to get there faster, design your path so that you can experience freestyle living. You see where in 3 sentences, I tell you what it is that I do. I'm teaching you, I'm coaching you to design your path for freestyle living. And that's why I consider myself a passive income mentor, passive income coach. So what are the steps? Step 1, attend a free meetup. Okay. Yes, I would like to browse a list of the free meetups. Step 2, buy the course. I would like to browse the list of courses. Step 3, join the academy by becoming a member. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because when you're developing your website, you want to make sure that you're bringing your audience along and make it super simple. Talk to them like they're a 5th grader. You want to make it so simple. I don't know how many times I've gone to a website and I'm like, well, that's nice. Good for them. They've got all these accolades and it's, and it shows everything they do. But how do I connect with them? I don't see a phone number. I don't see an email. I don't really want to buy something because I don't even know if I'm interested in buying something yet. So you have to have a way. It's like when you go to Costco and, and you get to sample the sausage or whatever, and then you end up going home with 4 packs because you got to sample it first. It's the same thing. They want to sample what you have to offer before they're going to drop money into your pocket. So you've got to have a way that they can kind of see what you're about. So they can become a member here. And then last but not least, if you need a coach instead of a mentor, there's one-on-one coaching sessions. So you see where on my website, I take them right through the options. If all they want to do is have a strategy call, a coffee chat with me, they could do that. They can then come to a free meetup. There's 2 ways, see, that they can kind of connect with me before they spend any money at all. Then if they wanted to buy a course, they could, or if they wanted to just be a member of the academy. And like Linda was saying, my cost is very inexpensive as well. Again, it's $25 a month to be an actual member of the academy. From there in the academy, they actually get me anytime they need to. So the guys and gals on this call know that anytime you have a question or a problem, you can connect with me and I will show up and help you through whatever. Because sometimes you need help right then. You don't need help 2 weeks later. You need help right when you're in the middle of building something. So from there, you can do one of our Freestyle Living tribe trips, and you can click, and every time you click a button, it takes you right to that section. Now, for those of you that are pondering, yes, I built the website myself. I have no technical background. I know nothing about building websites. Mine is on a teachable platform, and I simply figured it out. And I've discovered that there is a rhyme and reason, if you will, and Linda can attest to this, and probably Cheri, and I know Debbie can, that there's a rhyme and reason to building a website. Most of the website builders are very similar. They all have the same system of drag and drop or plug and play. And that's what I want to show you. But mine's on Teachable because I have the courses. That's the only reason I went with Teachable. Had I known Linda before, I probably would have used Linda's platform because it's a little cheaper than my Teachable. But anyway, mine is on Teachable. So from there, once I get past where you meet Kathy, now I do a segue. Now it's all about marketing. And I put all about me at the bottom of the homepage. I don't put it at the top of the homepage. So you'll notice when you look at my website, it's all about you. It's one of those things when if you were a customer or you're part of my audience, even my banner picture shows freestyle living, what it looks like to be having fun. You're not sitting behind a computer all day, being or like, was it Michael who it doesn't want to punch the time clock? I get it. I don't want to go back to punching a time clock either. I want to work for myself. And so when you look at my website, if a consumer looks at it, it answers the question, what's in it for me? Here's what's in it for me if I were buying. I can have a strategy call. I can do the meetups. I can get the course to learn more. I can be a member and be a part of the tribe. I can get one-on-one coaching. I can even go on a tribe trip and meet more folks that are in the same mindset as I'm in. I can learn more about Kathy and what she brings to the table. So see, it's all about what's in it for me. I'm answering that. But then when they say, well, who is this Kathy? That comes at the bottom. So here's my books and publications. So again, they can click on the picture, it takes them right to my Amazon site. I have a podcast. They can click on the picture, takes them right to all my podcasts. I have a blog. They can click on the picture, takes them all about tells them all about the blog. Here is my calendar of events. Here is my speakers cabinet, and here is all about our giving that we give back. So you see where the website just kind of flows. And then down here is where some of my favorite folks have given me some kudos. There's Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. There's Estella. Thank you, Estella. And then at the very, very bottom are my certifications. Okay, because it's not all about me. It's all about you. It's about the consumer. It's about my audience. So I'm hoping that that makes a little more sense to everybody on when you're putting together your website, you always want it to be about your consumer. So now I'm going to show you a sample of Weebly. Weebly is simply a platform, and I'm going to show you the platform and how much it costs. Here is, for those of you that are looking, now they've got an 8.1 score out of 10. The ease to use, it's very easy. It's one of the easiest platforms to use. But you do, and again, what we were talking before, you do have to reverse engineer it, and you have to list everything you need a platform to do before you buy a platform. Because I don't care if it's the simplest of websites, once you build it, you don't want to have to rebuild it 6 months down the road. You don't want to have to rebuild it onto a different platform even a year down the road. So you want it to do everything you want it to do. So with that said, I'll back up and say this. I love Linda's platform. I chose Teachable before I even knew Linda. So I probably will not rebuild mine over to Linda's platform because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that Linda, I didn't even know Linda at the time. So here is my whole point in all of that. Don't overanalyze. Don't sit and wait and wait and wait and sit and go, someday I need to do this. Go ahead and do the best you can do with the information that you have at the time. And so choose the best platform that you can afford that does what you want it to do, and go ahead and pull the trigger and get started. So here's some costs for Weebly. Now, Weebly does have a free plan. I'm going to scroll down and show you that first. Here's their free plan. And then they have, these are the lowest priced of the lowest three. So they have the free plan, then they have a $5 a month, and they have a $12 a month. Here is what the $5 and $12 a month gives you. It gives you a free domain for the first year on the $12. On the $5 a month, it does not. You have to pay like 20 bucks to get the domain. You have only 500 in storage here. It's unlimited. You can connect your domain. So if you already have a domain, let's say that you bought a domain from GoDaddy or one of those domain companies, you can connect your domain to this $5 a month one because you're not getting the domain through Weebly. And I do recommend that, by the way. I recommend that you have your own. That way, if you do switch platforms, you own the domain. Weebly doesn't own your domain. So I do recommend that you go over to GoDaddy and just buy the domain that you want. You may already have that. So anyhow, this gives you the security. There are ads in the $5 one. There are no ads in the 12. You can see, you can just go right down the list and see what it gives you. They both give you search engine optimization. They both give you community forum. They both give you chat and email support. You can do transactions over here in the $12 a month one. So for those of you that are going to be selling products, you might want, more of the $12 a month one, but you can get started on the free one and upgrade anytime. On the $12 a month one, you can have up to 25 products. There is a shopping cart, phone support, priority support, all of that comes. And of course, Weebly's like every other company. They're trying to get you to upsell. I'm going to scroll up here because even after the $12 a month one, there is a business one. And again, it shows you everything there. And then there is a business plus one. And so you can do whatever you want. You can start with free. For those of you that say, I don't really want to spend any money right now, and I never want to look in anybody's wallet. I don't know how much cash you have to spend or what you want to commit to. So just play around with the free one. You might say, you know what, I don't like this building a website stuff. I'm just going to pay somebody. But here's my thinking on that. And I'm going to give you an example. When I had the salons, you heard Quincy mention, I think it was Quincy, mention about my business, my background, and I had 5 beauty salons. Well, and Gay, I see your hand up. I'm going to get to you in just a moment. With my 5 beauty salons, I had a lot of stylists over the years, over the months and years would come and go, you know, as that happens in that particular industry. And I had a web designer, and every time I brought on a new stylist, I had to call the web designer and say, okay, I have a new stylist. Can you get them put onto the website? Here's their prices. They're all independent contractors. So every stylist had a different price list. And he would say, I can't get to you for about 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh, well, now here's this brand new stylist, and her customers can't even find her because I can't even put her on the website for 3 weeks. And that was very frustrating to me. And then when he finally did have time to put her on the website, I had to manage it. I had to say, uh-oh, you got the price for the haircut wrong. Oh, it was just a typo. I'll get it fixed. Or, oh, her link didn't work. And he goes, oh, let me check it out. I'll check it out in the next couple of days. And so it was just frustrating to me. I just felt like I was constantly dragging this programmer along to keep my website updated. And so finally, I just bit the bullet and I said, you know what? I am smart enough to figure it out. There are so many plug and play options out there. I'm going to get one, and I'm going to do it. So when I have a new stylist, I can go home that night and put her on there, and I can check the link, and I can make sure her prices are right, and I can get her up and running immediately, because the first couple of weeks is the most crucial for a stylist when she switches salons for her customers to find her. 3 weeks out is a little, by then they may have already gone to another salon because they couldn't find her. And so it's just important, I feel, that you have control to some degree over your website, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Action starts first and clarity comes second. And what you tell a website designer to put on your website today, I'm going to guarantee you that it will be out of date within a couple of weeks. You're going to say to yourself, oh, I wish I would have had him put it this way, or I wish I would have had that picture instead of this picture. And so now you're going to be at this designer's mercy to work you back into their schedule. Plus, they're going to charge you for whatever it is they did on top of these prices that you're seeing here on whatever platform you choose. So I'm here to tell you, I think you're better off to be able to design, especially if you're going to do your base website or base blog, to design it yourself. And that way you can change it when you need to change it. So Gay, I'm going to jump over to you. What was your question real quick, sweetie?
You can hear me? Everybody can hear me? Okay, so
Yes.
when you were showing your website, I don't know if you guys ever remember how McDonald's got started. His story started in California. They had a milkshake, they had a drink, they had a hamburger and fries, and that was the menu, period, in the sentence. And your website is like a well-oiled, current day McDonald's menu. So I feel overwhelmed, but maybe it's hearing your voice, I'm like, okay, now I know where to click. And obviously I'm not near as, I won't be doing classes, but I do want that relationship feel when someone comes to my website. So I will put myself all the way at the bottom, and kind of try to highlight all the fun that I want them to have, and how convenient they will coming to my place. So yeah, what do you think? I mean, what do you think about someone who just started? You say just jump in. I'm like,
Got to start. Now, and this is what I like. And again, I'm not trying to push Linda's platform just because Linda's on the call. I'm just saying, for her price point, and hers is also a plug and play, and there's lots of support. But there are so much more options on her platform than there are. I mean, here on this Business Plus, you're up to $38 a month. I don't know that Weebly on the Business Plus would bring as much to the table as what her platform would at $25 a month. But here's my point. There's lots of support on whatever platform you go with. There's tons of YouTube. There's me, there's Linda, there's people that can help you. And the point is if you just start with a 3 or 4 page website, your home page, a little bit about your services, your about me page, and your contact me page. Boom, 4 pages, and you've got a store. You've got a brick and mortar location. You've got a business. You are online. You are findable. People can put in your name and you will come up.
Can you
So
say that again? You said it really quick. 4 pages. What was the first page?
it's the home page, your services, whatever those are, your about me page, that's your story, and your contact me page. So home,
Okay.
services, about me, contact me.
Okay.
And everybody loves your story. Like you said, how many people know how McDonald's got started? We all love a rags to riches story. We all love, here's where we were, but then here's what we discovered, and now here's what we want to offer you. And so everybody loves that segue story. And so that's what's going to be on your About Me page. So many people on their About Me page, it's all about me, 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 me. I went to college here and I got this, accolade over there, and I've been published here, and I've done this, and I've done that. And everybody's like, oh, well, good for you. I say, when you're writing your About Me page, make it about your consumer. Here's where I was, here's what I learned, and now here's what I have for you. So make it, and we call that the hero's journey, for those of you that haven't been with me for a while. And I teach a whole course on the hero's journey. So we're not going to get into that today. So here's what I want to show you today. This is an actual Weebly website, and I kind of made this up last night. So most plug and play, and this is the meat of this presentation today, is that most plug and play are just this simple. Here's the home page, here's the services, about, and the contact. That's it. 4 pages. Okay. I chose this one. Now, once it's published, it won't say more. The contact word will be up there. It'll say home, services, about, and contact. So this is the home page. And what I did is I put this picture in here, and I created this. And again, you just click on it. There it is. See where it says blog? So you can type it however you want. You can write in there whatever you want. And here's my claim to fame. And I don't know how maybe Linda feels about this, but this is my claim to fame, is when I do a website, I pick up a theme that I like. Let's see if I can get us to move here. There we go. I pick a theme that I like. I got to move some of our stuff around. Up here at the top, here is where you build. Here's the pages. If I click on pages, there's the home, the services, the about, the contact. So you can name these even different. If I click on home, see, here's, I can name it whatever I want. See, I could name it blog. I could make it my blog page, or I could keep it as my home page. See, so I can make that whatever I want. And I can hide it in the navigation, so you can have we won't get into secret pages. I have some secret pages on my website, but we won't, I don't want to confuse everybody today. But then the header type, the visibility, the SEO settings, you have total control over filling all these in. But this is under your pages. And so that's the home page. See if it'll.
How many pages do you get?
You can make as many as you want. The template, the theme that I picked had these 4. I can add more pages. So you can add more pages on all of these website builders. Depending on the cost, some of them may have a limit. They might say, oh, you can only have 20 pages, or you can only have 10 pages. So there might be a limit. And again, that's what I was saying earlier, is decide kind of early what you want your website to do at the end of the day, and then reverse engineer it and make sure you pick a platform that will do what you want it to do. If you wanted to do sales funnels, if you wanted to have a membership site, if you wanted to have a blog area, if you wanted to have where you can sell candles, whatever, or sell books, or sell an actual hard piece of something, right off of your website, make sure that you pick a website that has those options so that you don't have to rebuild down the road. Even if you spend 25, and again, I'm not plugging Linda just because she's on the call, but her website will do all of that for $25 a month. So I'm just saying, make sure you reverse engineer that. So I plugged this picture in. Then I plugged in the, the freestyle travel blog. And then I said, okay, now what am I going to put here? What am I going to put about the freestyle? Because when I first picked this theme, it was all about animals. It was all about, I think it was either a vet clinic but it was all about having pets and taking care of your pets. And so what I did is I changed, it had a doggy picture here, and it had something here about doggies. So what I did is I changed the picture, I changed the wording, and then what I did is I went over here to my chat. I don't know how many of you ever have used chat, but here's my freestyle living, and I'm going to show you some of my prompts and what I did. I have to keep moving our faces around and stuff as I do this because I'm moving around on my computer. So sorry about that. So here's what I did, and I'm going to go back to the beginning because when I went into Weebly, I said, write a paragraph about, first of all, does everybody know what Chat GPT is? If you don't know what Chat GPT is, download Chat on your computer or on your phone, on your tablet, whatever. And I'll show you up here, move our faces. It's chatgpt.com. You can see up here in the URL. Make sure you download that because it's a big, big help for you. So I wrote, my question was, or my instructions, my cue to Chat is I said, write a paragraph about freestyle travel where the focus is all about the customer and I am the guide, Kathy Benner. Give me a title for this section. And this is what Chat gave me. Title, Freestyle Travel, Your Journey, Your Way. At Freestyle Travel, the spotlight is always on you, your dreams, your pace, and your sense of adventure. I'm Kathy Benner, your personal travel guide, dedicated to crafting experiences, blah, 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 blah. So that's what it gave me. And I thought, oh, okay, I don't want to be a travel agent. I wanted this to be a travel blog. So I said, rewrite this to reflect a freestyle travel blog, because I didn't want it to sound like I was a travel agent. So now I tell Chat, rewrite this to reflect a freestyle travel blog. So Chat said, okay. So freestyle travel, a journey designed around you. Welcome to Freestyle Travel, a blog where every adventure is inspired by you, your passions, your pace, your dreams. I'm Kathy Benner, your travel guide and storyteller. You see how it changed up the wording here to help you explore the world in a way that feels authentic. So now let's jump over here. That is what I put right here. I put that, I just copied it straight from Chat. I didn't have to sit down and spend days going, oh my gosh, what should I write there? I just went over here to Chat and I said, write this to reflect the blog. First of all, I said, write it where I'm the guide, and make it all about the customer. Well, if you keep it in the same thread with Chat, Chat will remember that it still wants to be all about the customer and that I'm the guide, but I just said, rewrite it to reflect a blog. So you see where it wrote it perfectly, in my opinion. It's all about crafting travel that speaks to your soul and celebrates the freedom of exploring life your way. And so then I said, write another paragraph adding value for this blog. So what makes freestyle travel different is it's more than just a collection of destinations. It's a resource for international, meaningful exploration. So I come over here, and that's what I put in the second section, travel with purpose. What makes freestyle living unique? It's right here. And I just, again, copy and pasted it right over. Then I said, shorter, please. So it gave me the paragraph. And that's the actual paragraph that went in here. Just a simple paragraph. Do you see that? Then I said, give it a title, Travel with Purpose. And so that's what went right here, Travel with Purpose. And then I said, what might a button to click say, and where would it go in this section? Okay, a great button for this section would be Start Exploring. This feels inviting and action-oriented. It could link to your main blog page or a curated list of travel stories and guides. And so I came over here and there's my button to start exploring. You see how easy it was? Oh, this whole thing took me 20 minutes. So then I said, what would be a great pick for this section? Well, a great image would be capture the feeling of freestyle travel, a winding path or open road, blah, blah, blah. So I went out and searched, and this is my picture. and I simply copy and pasted it over. Okay. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
I have a question.
So then I said, give me one more short paragraph with the title. So inspired by discovery, every journey is an invitation to see the world and yourself in a new way. Freestyle travel is here to spark that curiosity, encouraging you to step off the beaten path, embrace new cultures, and collect stories that stay with you long after your return home. So I went over, and that is my last section. And then I clicked and I said, what could be a button text and where would it go for this? And a perfect would be find your next adventure, inviting readers to explore destinations, or story-based blog post. And there is find your next adventure on the button. You see how easy that was? That's my home page, done. That whole thing took about 20 minutes. And all I did is I just picked a theme, and I'm going to click on themes and see if it'll give us the themes here. It's light or dark, and you can change the theme. And if I click on change the theme, now I'm not going to click to change it, but here's the one. Let's play fetch. That's the one I picked. That's the template that I picked. And you can preview the templates here. And the reason I picked this one is I liked how it looked. I liked that you put your logo up here in the corner, and then you have your 4 pages, your home, your services, your about, and your connect. So see here, you don't see the menu, on this one. Some of these are all the ones you can pick. Plan your next getaway. Here you can see the menu. This one, you don't see the menu. See? And this one, the menu's clear over here to the right. This one, your logo's in the center, and then the menu is underneath of it this is called a banner picture here, the banner. This one, the menu is in this little hamburger thing here. You have to click on the little hamburger to get the menu. And I wanted one that had a light background, that the menu was right there at the top. And so that's why I picked this one. So you can preview that. And so I'll show you. This is what I started with. It's loading. It might take a minute. I hope I don't have too much open on my computer. Yeah, it may not. I figured it would load faster than that, so it may not show us. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to show us. So I don't know if it'll let me go back. So anyway, questions at this point? Comments, questions?
Suppose you don't see your theme. Is that possible?
Well, now when you're talking a theme, all it is I picked the doggy one because I like the layout. It doesn't matter what the picture is. It doesn't matter what it says. You're just looking at the layout of the homepage, because you're going to change the picture and the words. You're just simply, when you pick a theme, you're just looking for the layout on how you want it to appear. And that's going to be on all these builder websites. Doesn't matter which builder website you're on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. And let's see if it has loaded. It may not have loaded. Nope, it doesn't look like it's going to load. So we're going to cancel that. But anyway, I picked the theme because I wanted the header with the black ink here. Now you can even change the color of ink, but I wanted it to look like that, which is why I picked that particular theme. But you can play around with it, and you can change the themes. You can change anything you want. I'm going to see if it'll let me go back now. Yeah. So this had the doggy picture, and it had the words, and all I did was change the picture and change the words. I didn't move any of it around. Now you see when I highlight it, you see how it shows the little line around. I could click on that and scoot it and move it, because when you're back here in the builder, you can pick and build. I can delete all of this on this page and it would just be a plain blank page. Well, I don't know about you, but when I first started to do websites for myself, I didn't know what to do with the plain page. So I am not a WordPress girl, because on WordPress, you get the plain page, and then you got to come over here and say, do I want an image there? Do I want the gallery there? Do I want a slideshow? Do I want a contact? What do I want there? I didn't know. So I like the ones that are pre-themed. So that way, all I do is I pick the theme that I like the best on the layout, and then I just simply change the pictures and the words, and boom, within 20 minutes, you can have your website done. I didn't change the positioning of any of this. See, they already had a filler in here because that's how they wanted it to look. So I didn't change anything. Now, I cannot publish this one, and here's why. I don't have a domain connected to it. If I click publish, it says pick a domain, select your domain name. So now here's where you can select a domain name directly from Weebly, and it's already connected. But it says if you already own a domain, no problem, connect or transfer it now. You can just copy and paste your domain name in here, and it'll automatically use your current domain name if you have one. But if you don't have one, you can actually buy one through Weebly, and they give it to you the first year for free. And then it's about 19, 20 bucks a month, or I'm sorry, a year after that you have to pay for the domain. And that's what it costs on GoDaddy. It's about 20 bucks a year to buy a domain on GoDaddy. So I prefer to buy my own so that if later I go, oh, you know what, I'm going to use a different platform, I get to keep my domain. I don't have to reinvent the wheel on, because your domain is going to be your address. That's going to be your online address. So you want to own that online address. You don't want Weebly to own it or Teachable to own it, or you want to own your own website address. And so that's your domain. Mina, question.
Hi, so my question was, how does it show how it will look on the phone?
Yes, and that's what I like as well. That's one thing with this one. I got to move our things around. So here's where you build it. So here's where you can add a title or add a gallery or whatever you want to do if you want to build it. Here's your different pages where you can change your page names, you know, your home, services, whatever. Then here's the theme where you can change the themes, where you click here on change theme. And that's where I showed you that I picked the little doggy theme. Apps, there's different apps that Weebly holds hands with, that like their payment app if you're going to sell stuff online. Settings, these are the different settings. If I click on settings, this is where you can change what you want your my site to say. If I go back to my build, see where it says my site right here and text is on. This is where I change what that says right here under my site if I wanted to. But let's go back to build and see this computer screen. This is where it shows your device. So here's a desktop and here's the mobile. So if I change it to mobile, here's what the mobile looks like. So it will show you what it will look like on someone's phone. And this is where a lot of website builders fail, because I don't know, have you ever gone on your phone and like a word is cut off or a picture doesn't show right? Here you can see it on the phone or you can see it on the desktop. So you can look at it before you hit publish to make sure that it looks the way you want it to look.
Yeah, the transition has to be seamless. Otherwise, it seems like it's not put together.
We call that a Frankenstein site when it looks like it's all chopped up because it didn't flow well. And so Weebly has this option, and you just click here on and it's the device switcher, and so you can see it desktop or mobile. So you can flip back and forth. So anytime you add something, you want to check both of these to make sure that your consumer, your audience is going to see it correctly.
Another question is, can we take a look at the apps to see what they have?
Yeah.
I know it's probably a lot.
Absolutely. These are the apps that come with it. There is a boost traffic, a spike sales, get social, made by Weebly. These are sites that Weebly has created just for to add. And then handpicked, there's, you know, all of these down here, site boosters. But there's a ton of them you can go through. There's table, color block, media gallery, Instagram feed, social media icons, form builder. There's all these apps that also go with the Weebly site. Now, I haven't clicked, but you see they say free. But this one, for example, Google Ads, there is a free, but then you can also add a premium. Now, if you're selling product like Mina, this is where if you wanted to later down the road add Google Ads, you could add Google Ads right to your website. And Google would advertise your website for you. And again, there's a free version and a premium version. So it says which ones are free and which ones you would have to pay for. These all look free. And I haven't clicked through them. Then you can click on the highest rated ones. And again, This is a paid membership app. It says that you do have to pay. It says subscriptions and paid memberships. Grow your business with Google Ads. Both of those show that you can upsell if you want. Facebook live chat is premium. Easy pop-up is premium. But see, a lot of these are free. So you can build as much or as little as you want. You don't need, and for those of you that are at the bare basics, you don't have to add any apps to your website to have a website, to be available online. You do not have to add any apps up front. But just know that Weebly has options where as you learn and as you learn more about how to build your website, you can tailor it all different ways. But don't get so far down in the weeds, because again, you could maybe look at Linda's and it could be that hers for $25 a month comes with a lot of this stuff that maybe you have to pay to add on a Weebly site. You see where I'm going with that? That's why you have to almost reverse engineer it. You have to go and say, what do I want my site to do at the end of the day? In a perfect world, if I were done, what options would I want on my website? And then make sure that either your website has the option to do that or you can add it to do that. And again, when I started, I wanted something free and then I just added on later because I didn't want the cost up front. I mean, at $25 a month, you're still talking, what, $300 a year. So it depends. Again, I don't want to look at anybody's wallet. If you need free, Weebly can be totally free. If you just want a footprint out there to say, here's where I am, and you know what, it only took me 20 minutes to build it. So if I have to switch platforms later, that's okay. I just need a footprint out there now to get started. Mina, did you have another question?
Yeah, I had another question. So it's also, this might not be like Shopify where it shows you the traction on your website, hey?
Do what now? Say that again.
It doesn't show you the traction on your website, like how many people are coming in, looking at your...
It might once I publish, but I don't have a domain for this one, so I didn't publish. Let's go back here.
One of the apps, maybe.
Yeah, I'm coming back here to see. It connects security, statistics. The free one will not give you your statistics. The $5 a month one does not, but the $12 a month one does. And site search tells you how many people have clicked. So again, Weebly wants you to buy a level up or two to get those statistics. So you see what I'm looking at, Mina?
Yeah.
So when you go to compare sites, that's what you want to look at, is this comparison chart, because that tells you everything that it does. Like on this cheaper ones, there's no product page, but you can have up to 25 products on the $12 a month one. But if you look at these up here, when you get into the business or the business plus, see, now you're getting up there to $25 to $38 a month. And I'm sure if you did the comparison chart, it would do a whole lot more than even what this $12 one does.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to check out, is what do I want it to do at the end of the day, so that I don't spend all this time building a website just to find out I'm in the wrong store.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
I have a question. So when let's say you did the free one,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got your page there, you could put your links on your page, right?
Yep, absolutely. You can have as many of those little buttons and links under those buttons, as many as you want, because you're building it, and you can add as many as you want. Because when you're looking at the actual builder, over here on the builder, see, here's where you can click any of these in, and right here's your button. And you can click as many buttons over, move as many buttons over as you want. This one has a button here and another button down here. But if I wanted to add even more, see, then there's no button at the last one. And then it said, this is for people that are sharing. And so these can have a link. So you can say, on my Teachable website where I said, click the picture and you could get to my Amazon for all my books, or click the picture and get to my blog, or click the picture and get to my podcast. You can do all of that down here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And this one, see, if I highlight over it, you see where it says links active once published. And so if I click on it, it says, do I want to edit the image? And here's the link. And you click on link. Do I want it to go to a website, or do I want it to go to another page inside of my website? Do I want it to go to my product page? Do I want it to go to my blog post? Do I want it to go to my phone, or just a file or an email? See, so you can decide if they click on the picture where you want to take them. So you could take them right to another URL or right to another page within the same website. But you see how easy it is to build, because it's all kind of user friendly. And that way
Very
you
good.
control. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. The only thing easier is to have someone do it for you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to build one for a friend of mine out of our coffee chat. She and I are bartering. There's some things I want to learn from her, and she said she wants me to do her website. I'm going to do it with her so that she sees, that way when she says, oh, I need it to say this, she'll understand a little more on what we have to do to make it say that. But I am going to build one for her in exchange for some stuff that she's going to teach me. So we're going to barter. So I'm open to that. If anybody needs help, I'm open to do that as well.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
We are coming up on the 1:30 mark. I just want to make sure that I've answered all your questions. And I know that, again, this was just a taste of how to get it done. You can do it for free. You'd still have to have your own domain, which I recommend that you buy your domain through GoDaddy. And here's another thing. For those of you that do not have your domain yet, I recommend that you put your name in your domain. Mine is just kathybender.com. I own it through GoDaddy. I can point it to the Teachable platform. I can point it to my Linktree, which is my electronic business card. I can point it wherever I want to point it because I own it. And here's what happens. We get so creative in the names that we name our businesses. And I get that. But when I'm out networking and I meet someone, oftentimes I remember them, but I can't remember what they named their business. I can't remember what they named their last program that they're pushing or selling. I can't remember the name of their product, but I remember them. And so I'm Googling Debbie Marks. I remember I met her at I remember I met Estella, and it's that legal thing, whatever it is. And I think I want to talk to her. And so put your name, my opinion only, put your name in your domain. And unless you're in a, hiding from a criminal sometime and you're trying to be in some sort of a program where you're undercover, but put your name in your domain so people can find you.
So on that note, since I have my own website with Legal Shield, but I also have my own domain, thanks to your encouragement and Linda's help. Should I set up a little website like what you just showed us today, and then link my Legal Shield website to that?
I would, but here's what I'm going to say. And then Mina, I see your hand up. Here's what I'm going to say. In the salon industry, I also sold Mary Kay. I convinced all my stylists that they had a captive audience. They should be selling an actual product in addition to their services. So I chose Mary Kay to be my actual product. Mary Kay had a whole team of attorneys because they wanted to make sure that we as consultants didn't muddy the waters. We didn't promise something that they couldn't fulfill. So they said, if you're going to link us to your website, we want to see what you're promising on your website. We need to approve it before you link over to us. And again, it was to keep their products promises pure. They didn't want me saying, oh, Mary Kay can do all these things, click here. And then for them to go, we can't do all those things. Why did, you can't say that. And so they just wanted to see my website first before I could link to it. So if you're in any kind of an MLM, you're going to have to check with their legal department to make sure you're allowed to link them over to you to begin with. Okay. Now, once you can do that, and if it's an affiliate link, you're fine. As long as if you have any affiliate links that you want to link over to your website, you can do that. If you're going to sell affiliates, like Linda's doing an affiliate with her website designer, she actually has an affiliate link with that. The only thing that's required there is that you make it very clear that you're using affiliate links so that your consumer knows that you could earn some money off of them clicking on your link. Now, it doesn't cost them anymore. They're paying the same price whether they click through on your affiliate link or whether they go directly to that other website. But you just have to, in transparency, you have to make it transparent that you're using affiliate links. And so I have an affiliate link page on my website of all of my affiliates. And I mentioned that it is an affiliate link, and I can show you that. But anyway, just double check that. But I do like you having your own website, because now here's what I know. A business is, if somebody is looking for your product, they will click on your website to try to buy your product. But if they don't know that they need your product, you somehow have to show them they need it first. That's where your website comes in. That's where you can create a blog and you can say, here's a story. Because everybody can relate to stories. Here's a story of a person that I helped, and here's what happened. You don't have to give away all of their personal details, but you can say, I had this gal, and she had her identity compromised, and because of our Legal Shield program, this is what we were able to do for her. And if you're interested, here's the link over to buy the Legal Shield. So that way, you can tell some personal stories on your website that they're not going to find on the Legal Shield site. The Legal Shield site is more of a click and buy, like, okay, you can buy this plan, that plan, or the other. And people are going to go, do I need that? I don't know if I need that. So your website is where you're going to show them they need it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So just be sure that Legal Shield allows you to click over, which I think they do. Yeah. Mina, question.
Hi, my next question was, I think that's great what you just said about adding your name, if you can, for sure. I know I might not be able to with what I'm doing, but if I'm not mistaken, there was a way to connect that so that when your name is searched, that your website is still coming up with your.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me say this, and this is on GoDaddy, which I love on GoDaddy. If you already have, let's say, and I'm going to use Estella as an example. Let's say that Estella already has her Legal Shield site that Legal Shield provides for her, but it's not going to be her name, of course, because it's a site that all of the Legal Shield people use, and it just gives her own little section of that site, and they update the site and they keep the site. And she says, I would like to have my name also go there. I don't have time to build a website, but I would like to have my GoDaddy, estellablake.com, go to my Legal Shield site. She can go over to GoDaddy, and she can also point her estellablake.com to that website over top of them already having. So I did that for a while on my academy. If somebody typed in the Kathy Benner International Academy, my academy came up. That was my URL. I went over to GoDaddy, and I also had kathybenner.com point to the homepage of my academy. So if they just did kathybenner.com, they got the academy homepage. If they did Kathy Benner International Academy.com, they got the homepage. I simply pointed it to the same direction. Does that make sense? So if you already have a site, Mina, and you don't have one with your name, but you'd like to, you can buy it at GoDaddy, get the one you want with your name, and you can point it under GoDaddy to the exact same homepage.
Got a question.
Yes, Gay.
So I already have I developed my email and my domain, all of that.
Uh-huh.
Now, where does it,
Did I freeze or did Gay freeze?
you've
She
been
froze.
freezing. Yeah, you've been freezing,
Okay, sorry about that.
but
Okay.
Not for me, though.
it's okay.
It might be
So,
you, Gay.
okay, you're right, whatever. Okay,
Okay, so
so
the
I
question again?
is, I have the domain, I have the email, but the question is, how do I find myself? I mean, I'm not in Google. I mean, Gmail, I'm not in it. So it's info@verandapc.com. So do I just type in verandapc.com in the browser to find myself, or
Well,
sounds
when you
weird.
say find yourself, where is your domain purchased from? Did you
Wix.
buy it from GoDaddy?
Wix.
Okay, Wix may own it. If
Oh,
you opened up a website and said, go ahead and give me a domain, Wix may own your domain. So it could be that you have to build your website with Wix because that's where they're pointing that domain because they own the domain.
okay. So remember you said you owned your domain. How did you own it? How did you?
I actually went to GoDaddy, which is just a domain service, and I bought my domain from GoDaddy. And then I could point it to Wix, or I could point it to Weebly, or I could point it to my Teachable. But I have control over where to point it. If you go, and again, I'm going to share my screen and show you this one more time. And I'll show you kind of what happens. This is on Weebly. That's the platform. Okay. And if I go here to publish, it says select your domain name right here, www.weebly.com. If I click there, say I wanted it from 0 to website, that's what I want my domain to be. Weebly now owns that. See, I'm buying it from Weebly.
How do you make it just yours, where it's Kathy Benner?
That's a little harder, and here's why. I could then take this and go to GoDaddy. I may not get the .com because if you've already bought it through Wix, and they're going to say, I'm sorry, that's already taken. Somebody's already bought it because you bought it through Wix. So you might have to make it a .net or some other than .com.
Okay. Am I ever going to be okay?
Or like Linda, with Linda Thomas, there were hundreds of Linda Thomases, and so she had to put an underscore, Linda underscore Thomas. Or I'm not sure, Linda, maybe you want to jump in. She did something like that to change it so she could buy it.
I did a hyphen for mine, linda-thomas.com, and I also have lindathomas.net and lindathomas.us, lindathomas.blog.
Yeah, she grabbed as many as she could. Because again, domains are like $20 a year.
Right. And I paid for all that. That's why I was like, okay, I'm not used to using that. So I don't think of it when it comes to, okay, well, where am I? Because I set it all up one night, but then it's like a phantom place now because,
Okay, now if you're on Wix, you should be able to go to wix.com and sign into your account.
I see.
And that's where you would find your current domain that you purchased through Wix. And Wix has a web builder just like the Weebly one. It's almost identical. So you could actually build your website right there on Wix.
Okay. And still, when people look for me, they don't have to go to Wix, do they? Once it's built,
No. They would
publishes.
type in your URL.
Okay.
Which is your domain. They would search for you. Which is why I like kathybenner.com. Or lindathomas.net or whatever. I like the name in the domain. Because that's how people try to find us.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Wow.
I know we're past time. If anybody has to go, I get it. If you need to go, several people have dropped off. We had 11, now we're down to 7. I certainly understand that because it's a Monday and people might have to get back to work. But here's what I want to say. When you want your website to come up more, and Estella, even for your Legal Shield one, even before you have your own website, if you want your website to come up more, you have to point to it. So that's where social media comes in. If you have a social media account through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and point back to your website, every time you point back to your website, it raises your website in the search engines. And so you want to point back to your website. So when I blog, at the end of my blog, I point back to my website. When I do a podcast, at the bottom of the podcast description, I point back to the website. When I go on my social media over to Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, I point back to the website. So every time you point back to your website, it raises your website in the search engines.
What's the method for pointing back to your website?
Just have a link at the bottom of your website. I just link my website at the end. Let's see if I can show you some. And again, I have to move all of our stuff around here because again, it covers it all up. I have freestyleliving.net is my blog. And again, that last one didn't load. It could be I have too much stuff. Nope, here it is. So this is my blog. And again, this is just a 3-page website is all it is. It's just it's a home, work with me and connect. That's it. That's the whole website. So here was the last article that I wrote, When You Can Be Anything, Be Kind. That was the last article, my last blog. It was also my magazine article for those of you that are in the Freestyle Living magazine. And so I wrote it September 8th. There's my name by Kathy Benner. Here is the blog post, which is also my article in the magazine. And when you get to the bottom, there's my link. So I'm pointing back to kathybenner.com.
So how do you do that on Facebook?
You just put it right in. You can just put it either right in your post, or you can say, connect with me in comments below. And have you ever been scrolling through Facebook, but you have to go to the first comment to get the link?
Yes, you told us years ago to don't put it in the message, put it down in the connect with me down in the comments.
And here's why. If you put it in the actual post in the message, Facebook doesn't put you out there as much. Their algorithm doesn't spread you out there because they don't want people to leave Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just talk all about whatever in your post and then say the link is in the comments, then when people if people really want to connect with you, they'll go to the comments and click on the link there. And that way Facebook it's not leaving Facebook when they just read your post.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because I follow directions. I just don't always do what I need to do.
I was going to add, you can also put that link in your profile. They have places in your profile to add website URLs. So in your post, you can mention, see my profile or whatever you want to say there.
Yeah. Or you can even say link in profile. Absolutely. Linda, that's a great point. And especially over in Instagram, because in Instagram, if you try to put the link in the post, it doesn't link it. The words are there, but you can't click, it doesn't go anywhere. So on Instagram, I always say link in profile. And so even on the magazine, our fall magazine, the link is in my profile on Instagram. And the kathybenner.com is in my profile.
This might be,
go ahead.
Yeah, this might be a whole step too far, but if you really want a clickable link, you can add a link to your Facebook banner so that if they click your banner, it'll open a place with your link off to the side. And also in like Instagram Reels, you can add a sticker that looks like a link and you can connect your URL to that, and they can literally touch that little sticker in the video and be taken to the page you want to send them to. It's one of the few places where they allow traffic to go off their site.
Yes. Now, and Linda, I agree. This is probably, I'm talking, website 101, and Linda's kind of in website 102.
or worse, or further. Yeah. But I just thought I'd throw it out in case somebody was really wanting to be able to attach a link.
Yes. So there's numerous ways to do that. And there's tons of people like Linda and myself and Cheri's here. We can help you do that. Yeah, if you get stuck, that's the whole point. If you get stuck, you have to have somebody to say, I'm stuck. What do I do now?
Well, where you got ladies? No, I'm just joking. I've been stuck, but not for the right reason. I'm getting
Now,
unstuck.
Cheri did put in the chat, she said you can also use Namecheap, and she says, and put a link in the footer.
Yeah, I use Namecheap.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And
Any
put a
other
link in the footer of what?
Of your website.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
I was going to add
I was gonna
something. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Linda.
On the idea, Kathy, when you were mentioning about affiliate marketing and you want to make sure to be very clear, it's a great habit to just include that language that is required by the FTC or by your company. For example, Amazon has very explicit language that they want you to use, disclaiming that you are a representative affiliate for them. But it's a great idea to include that on every doggone page. That way you don't have to remember or accidentally forget to include it and have your butt be in a sling over that. And so that's where the idea of a global footer is just the best thing ever. And that I don't know if Weebly or some of those other people offer that, but the platform I use, we have global footers, and they are just the best thing ever because you can update it in one page that you're on, and everywhere that you did use that global footer will be updated with that new information. It's just the best.
Yes. The footer is clear at the bottom, and you can see here where it says customize your footer. Can you all see that? So you can customize the footer here in Weebly to include whatever verbiage you want there. Yeah, so it does allow you to do that. This has been great. I know we're losing folks because people have to get back to work and get on with their day. I get that. I appreciate you all so much. There is only 5 of us still on. So what is your big takeaway? Estella, what's your big takeaway for today?
Just to get it done and that it's not real hard. I probably would start with something like this just for my own website, but I'm eventually going to get what Linda has. There's something else that I have to master that I'm already paying for, but I know in the interim I need to have a website.
Okay.
So this was very, very helpful, but and I'm like, am I wasting time by doing this, or should I just go to Linda? But there's something else I have to do before I go to Linda, because in order for me to use what Linda has, I have to master this one thing. So
may I make a suggestion? Sign up for a free link tree. Point your domain over to your link tree. And then you can have your Legal Shield links right there on your link tree.
Okay.
Now, let me show you.
Now, what about, is that a website?
No, Linktree is their own little thing. And basically it's a one-page website that Linktree owns. But I use mine as, and here's my domain. You can see right here, Linktree at Kathy Benner. You see that? I put KathyBenner.com pointed to my Linktree. I'm using Linktree as my electronic business card. And so guess what? Kathy's story. Got to read this first. Chat with Kathy. Event calendar. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4, one-on-one coaching. Overview of the academy. Learn more about Kathy. Giving. Tribe trips. Author page. Podcast. Blog. Magazine. Speakers media kit. Private community. And then either be a speaker or need a speaker. All of that is right on my Linktree. I'm using.
I think, Linda, don't you do that too?
Yes, you can build any kind of a links page that you want.
But the point is if you wanted something in the interim and you didn't want to take a lot of time to build a website, and you wanted to use your estellablake.com or whatever your domain is, you could point it to a free link tree until you're ready to purchase Linda's platform.
So they would go to estellablake.com
and this
click
would
on that
up.
and that would pop up. Can you only point one thing to estellablake.com? Can I just, like point my Legal Shield thing to estellablake.com? How many things?
Don't, you're getting confused.
Okay.
The estellablake.com is doing the pointing. So if somebody searches for estellablake.com, where do you want them to land?
Okay, they can only land in one place. Okay, gotcha.
Right. So I'm using my link tree, which is just a free one page, landing page, website, whatever, owned by Linktree. I'm landing everybody there because it's so easy for me to put all the links to where they need to go in my website. You could have them land here on your Linktree, and then you could have Estella's story. You could have chat with Estella, and you could become one of the team members of Legal Shield. You could, watch,
and I could put videos out there as well, right?
Legal Shield. You can do all of that. And it's free, and it's just an interim. It's a way for folks that you can just tell people, just go to estellablake.com. You'll find me.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. Thank you.
And what I like about Linktree, and it's same with once you get Linda's website, you can rearrange your links. So I can go to what I call the back of the house where I create this, and I could actually move my event calendar to the top. Let's say that you're going to be a speaker at an event, and that's what you're marketing, and you can move the invite right to the top of your link tree for the leading up to your event. And somebody goes, oh, how do I find you? I want to go to your event. Oh, just go to estellablake.com. It's all there. All the information's right there.
Loving it.
See, you want to make it as simple as possible for your consumer. And so again, see, here is teaching and coaching you how to be healthy and how to create passive income. See, there's my little VPS right there at the top. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a great interim for you. I switched my domain to land there instead of on my homepage, because even though my homepage is all about you, it's like what I can do for you, it's still a little overwhelming. And so I just recently switched my domain to land on my Linktree, and I'm using it as my electronic business card. So when I go out networking and everybody goes, oh, how can I connect with you? KathyBenner.com, KathyBenner.com. That's all I got to, just KathyBenner.com.
And then they get to see all about you. I love it. Yes. I love it. Thank you.
Okay. Aha moment for Debbie. She might be double duty. Linda, how about you? Any aha moments? I know you're in the soup with me, so I don't know if you had any aha moments.
Yeah, I would just say it's always great to watch anybody doing any kind of a demo with ChatGPT, because you just find interesting ways for people to phrase and ask a question. And like I use ChatGPT and Claude and even Gemini and Notebook LM, but I always benefit from hearing questions that people ask.
Perfect. And mine were very simple, just to build that website. And then of course the whole point is that chat becomes your framework, and you can tailor it. You can say, oh, I don't quite want it to say that. Let me tweak this or tweak that. And you can then tailor it to say exactly what you want it to say, but it gives you a great framework to start with. So you're not looking at a blank page. Debbie, are you still with us? Debbie? I don't know if Debbie can click in or not. Maybe not. She may have jumped over for a phone call. So anyway, I want to say thank you again. I know we went longer today, but I think it was very important. I think it's just important that we all just simply start and get ourselves out there. Because again, if you're not out there on the website these days, on the internet, then you don't exist in today's world, and you've got to get out there. So with that, we are going to go, and we'll see everyone next time. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, ladies.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.